Okay, we're still in Math 119. We're on Project M now. Again, I'm going to launch Sage. We're just getting our feet wet by doing this, by the way. Sage is in my dock. By the way, I'm sure you've noticed that my Sage icon changes to a feather. And I believe what Sage is doing is running in an Apache server to do that. And that's why it changes its icon there. I believe that. I'm not sure about that. I don't know much about the underbelly of Sage, by the way. But I'm going to launch the terminal. Again, for other students, they might want to use their Jupyter notebooks instead. Whatever you're comfortable doing, I really mean that. Launch. And you know what? I got my old session open. I'm going to close that out. And the way we do that, I just exit, and I'm going to close it, just W. All right? Close it out. So it appears that they want to graph an implicit relationship, and I'm going to do that. And they also asked me, like, solving that implicit relation for the letter Y. But let's just go through the code, and we'll talk about it step by step. Reset. And I guess I need to define two variables now, x and y. Let me scroll up a little bit. I'm going to define two variables, x and y, and they are variables, var, and that's x and it's y. And I got that done. And then I'm going to say P1, and P1 is going to be assigned something. And what is being assigned? It's actually being assigned an equation. And the equation that's being assigned is x squared times y squared plus x star y, and a double equal sign means an equation is equal to 2. Now, what equation are we talking about? We're talking about this equation over here. It's x squared y squared plus xy equals 2. This is implicit, all right? So let's keep going. Let's hit return. Again, if I make a mistake, it'll let me know that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to define a new holding spot, IP1. This is image. Well, you can name it anything you want, though. Implicit plot. Remember, if you type in correctly, it's going to let you know that. And I want to plot P1, which is that equation over there. And what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say x is on an interval, on that interval, and you can play around with the numbers, minus 5.5, and it goes up to 5.5. And again, you can play around with these numbers. And then I'm going to say y is on the interval between minus 5.5 and 5.5. I know I say this a lot. If you make a mistake, Sage will let you know you made a mistake. All right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show IP1, and I'm going to show it. And I'm hoping to get a picture. And what's going to do, launch my browser. Let me close these other old pictures I had up before. I know I think I had two of them up before. Okay, there, I got that. So someone said, what is that? That's a picture of that implicit function, all right? Now, it's done. And again, if you want to check yourself, you can scroll through the document. And I'm pretty sure I put the graph down for you, and I did, right? It's the same graph, by the way. All right, what I want to do is I want to keep following this code business over here. And I want to solve, all right? So someone says, what do you mean you want to solve? I want to solve for y, all right? So let me go back over here, and I'm going to solve SOLVE. Now I notice what they typed in. They typed in the actual equation, but I'm going to type in my my placeholder for that, which is just P1. And I can say, could you solve P1 for y? And I'm hoping it's able to do that, by the way. All right, let's put this return down. And it's working on it. And what does it say? It says y is equal to minus 2 over x, and y equals 1 over x. I want to go back to the graph and indicate I'm actually seeing that in the graph. And you may be shocked by that, but I'm seeing two solutions to the problem. And let me go over that with you. And you can do that by hand, by the way. And I'm seeing it. And someone says, what do you mean you're seeing that? I'm seeing the graph of minus 2 over x, and I'm seeing the graph of 1 over x. Now, if you wonder what the graph of 1 over x is, it's this graph over here. It's this one, and this is the other section of it. And the other graph that I'm looking at is minus 2 over x, which is this section here and this section over here. All right? And again, I actually believe, graphing that by hand, I would actually have to do that by hand, by the way. So let me go back to see if there's any other code there. And there's not. All right? But they do, again, I do recommend you read and try to pay attention to what's being presented to you in the videos, by the way. In these videos, though, I'm not reading to you, and that's really kind of incumbent upon you to read with the document. Let's see what the next project is, though. We'll get there later. Project N. We'll get to there later. Thank you so much for paying attention now.